So I got two little kids. My son is 10, my daughter is 12. We do battle over the remote control. Literally, who's ever in control of the remote, they're driving. And I usually just wait for them to fall asleep. Then the remote's mine, ESPN. Oh, sorry, the Blazers still not playing? Lockout? Sorry about that. So anyway, I'm literally reaching for the remote one time after they had fallen asleep. My wife was right there. She literally says, Stu, don't you dare change that channel. Because I can usually hardly wait to get it off what they're watching. They're watching Hannah Montana, that's fine, but I'm over it. They watch iCarly. If I see another iCarly, I vomit, I swear. So I grab it and I just can't watch anymore because it's not that they're bad shows. They just watch them one after the other, and they watch them 10 times in a row. So finally I'm like, remote's mine, ESPN, here I come. My wife, don't you dare change that channel. And I remember it because I didn't want to watch what they'd been watching. And she says, Stu, we're going to watch this. I said, I don't want to watch. We were watching Animal Planet. That's what we were watching. Now, I have learned two things about Animal Planet. I don't watch it for these two reasons. One, I'm usually always crying. Or two, I'm donating money to the Humane Society. So I decided I didn't want to, but my wife, we are 10 minutes into whatever, we're watching it. It was about elephants in Africa. Elephants in Africa, that's the story. Now, here's the thing. Let me catch you up because we were 10 minutes in. They would literally be driving down the road someplace in Africa. They would look out the window with their camera, and there would be a dead elephant just lying on the side of the road. I mean, you talk about roadkill. So here's the thing. I quickly realized, no, they haven't been hit by a car because they drive a little while, and there'd be another one laying out there like 100 yards. And the narrator was saying these elephants were not dying because they were old. They weren't dying because they'd been hunted or poached. They were dying because of us, people. So what were we doing? We were moving in, chopping down the trees, building houses, and shrinking their habitat. And these elephants we were seeing in the story were starving to death. Now that's the story. Now here's the good news. A whole bunch of really smart people got together, said we need to save the elephants. And they located a refuge several hundred miles, like 300 miles away. And their job was to get their elephants to that refuge. Much easier said than done. Because it takes a lot of money and time and energy and effort to just get one up there, drive an empty truck back, get another one, let alone trying to load them and get them in safely. They quickly realized they couldn't do it. Then somebody had a really smart idea. Okay, we can't move the elephants. How about the little ones? How much does it cost to move the little ones? And they quickly realized they could move 3 little ones for the cost of 1 big one. This was their plan. Move the little ones to the refuge. They'll grow up really never knowing the difference because that's all they know. The big elephants won't have to compete for food with the little ones. Genius. So that's what they did. They spent months transporting little elephants, dozens and dozens and dozens. And it's all over. They're patting themselves on the back. Congratulations, we saved our elephants. Now you think that's where it would stop. But fast forward like 5 or 6 years. The refuge calls back all the really smart people. They had a conversation that looked a little like this. Hey, smart people. Hey, refuge. How's it going up there? Not so good. Hey, smart people. How old were your elephants when you sent them to us? Oh, I don't know. Maybe most of them are 5, 6, 7 years old. How old are they now? Oh, let me see. 6, 7 years later. Oh, they're like 11, 12, 13 years old. Say, yeah, listen. Your elephants are not the only animals on this refuge. We have all the animals you might expect here in Africa. We got zebras and giraffes and lions, stuff like that. We also happen to have one of the largest concentrations of a very rare white rhino. This particular white rhino, only 477 of them documented left on the planet. We have 100 right here on our refuge. And the smart people are like, wow, that's great, congratulations. They said, hey, smart people, did you know that the only natural enemy of the white rhino is the elephant? Now the smart people went, of course they're smart, but they have a tendency to stay away from each other in the wild. Pause. The refuge goes, yeah, well, not your little punk elephants, all right? Your little punk elephants have actually started to form gangs, okay? And they wait for one of the poor white rhinos to wander away from the herd, and then they run over, surround it, and take turns running in and pummeling it until it's dead. And then the refuge got it. Oh my gosh, these people are calling us because our elephants killed a white rhino. So they asked the question, did our elephants kill one of your white rhinos? And they said, no. They've killed 36. They went, what? They said, yeah, and it gets worse. Whoever the lead elephant is, the one that seems to step up, take charge, and says, follow me, we put them down, we euthanize them, and guess what? Another one steps right into their place. Hey, guess what? We're killing your elephants too. Hey, smart people, nothing we have tried works. You better get up here and fix this. So the smart people go racing up, and they immediately form committees, they go out and study, and it wasn't long before you know it, ta-dum, 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 poor little white rhino. Little punk elephants, come on, let's go, charge over, surround, boom, 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 boom. Minutes later, dead white rhino. And they tried everything. They tried like loud noises to scare them off. After a while, they caught on. They actually tried shock collars like you'd put on a dog. That didn't work. They literally tried everything they could. Barriers, fences. They'd find a way to get around, knock them down. Nothing they tried worked. Finally, there was one guy. He'd been quiet most of the time. He finally got the courage to raise his hand. He was a psychologist. A psychologist. In fact, I'm not even sure if he knew why he was there. But finally he just says, I got a question. And they were almost annoyed. Yes, Mr. Psychologist, what? He says, where are all the big elephants? Oh, well, we couldn't, and this and the money, and it was easier to transport the little ones, and you know what we're talking. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got another question. Who's teaching the little elephants to act like big elephants? And all the smart people went, we didn't think about that. And the psychologist goes, all right, listen, if it were me, starting to get more confidence, right? If it were me, I'd go give me some big elephants right about now. Okay, he didn't do the head thing. That's just me for fun, okay? So they look in their bank account. They didn't have enough money. They could afford 6. That's it, 6. But they thought, we've tried everything, let's try it. Here come the trucks backing up a little while later, each with an elephant. Back, down, come the gates, and come down, boom, boom, boom. Big old booty elephants just come backing right out of there, right? Before you know it, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here come the little elephants. They come charging over. Somebody's in their turf, and they square off, and they're kicking up dirt and throwing a tantrum. And the big elephants are looking at them like, shut up. And they're kicking up dirt, and they're throwing a tantrum. And after a little while, they realized this wasn't working. And they just kind of pouted and went off, and off they go. Now the big elephants are settling in, trying to figure out where everything is, the food, the water. And wouldn't you know it, right before their eyes, here comes a little white rhino. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Little punk elephants over here. Come on, let's go. Now the big elephants are watching, like, what's going on over there? Why do you think they're just, oh! Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Come on, let's go. They charge over. They place themselves between the white rhino, the little punk elephants, drop their heads, and just start shaking them back and forth. And they're looking at the little elephants, and the little elephants are kicking up a tantrum, running in circles. The big elephants are just looking at them like, bring it. But they didn't. There was a standoff. And they realized big elephants aren't going anywhere. Little white rhino totally petrified over here. And after a while, they charge off, all frustrated. They look back. You're welcome. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Then the weird stuff started to happen. I'm not kidding you, it was weird. The big elephants would go up and eat this leaf, this branch off of a tree, and when they'd leave, the little ones would sneak up, and they'd eat it too. And you could see them looking at each other like, hey, we were eating the stuff on the ground, this is so much better. The big elephants would back up against a tree, rub, 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 and they'd leave, the little elephants would come in, rub, rub, oh, that feels good! How come we weren't doing that before? And just like you see in the circus, the little elephants, after a while, just grabbed onto the tails of the big elephants and just followed them everywhere they went. And then the credits started to roll. And then the last credit, and I remember pretty accurately, it was something like this. 6 big elephants, not one more dead white rhino. And then it's over, remote control, carry the kids, go up to bed, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. Wake up in the morning, couldn't stop thinking about it. Go to work the next day, get on an airplane, couldn't stop thinking about it. Then a week, then a month. And now it's been over a couple of years since I've seen it, and something started to happen that I couldn't control. I've never been to Africa. The closest I've ever been to an elephant is in the zoo. But every time I walk onto a campus, this thing started happening in my brain where I started to notice kids and how they acted, and I started kind of connecting the dots. Like I could start to find immediately who the kids were that acted like the big elephants and the ones that acted like the little ones. I got to be such, it became like a game to me that I could literally walk down the hall and by attitude, language, things I saw kids doing, I could literally go big elephant, little elephant, big elephant, little elephant, total little elephant right there, big elephant, and you want to know the truth? I've gotten so good at it, I can do it almost instantly. Now for those of you that are sitting out there going, all right, I think I get this big elephant, little elephant thing, which one am I? It's pretty simple. I'll run through a couple of tests. You can decide. Like, let's say something rolls into your phone. It's a text, and sometimes you can't control where it comes from. And you look at it, you're reading, it's mean, it's ugly, it's nasty, downright awful about another human being. Here's the moment. If you delete it, you're a big elephant. If you make a comment and forward it to 10 of your friends, you're the little one. Something rolls into your Facebook page, same thing. It might even have pictures attached, might even be really, really awful. Comments, nasty, ugly. Sometimes you can't control that. In that moment, that's where you know, that's who you are. Do you delete it? Say, move on. If you make a comment and forward it to 10 of your friends, you're the little one. For me, it's really simple. If you make choices that hurt or harm another person in any way, you will always, always be the little elephant. But if you're one of those people that shows up with your friends and says, whoa, 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 come here. Yeah, we got to rein this in. No, this has got to change. Are you kidding me? We're 16, 17 years old. This has got to stop. Now you're starting to be the big one.